Not so long ago, at King's Cross Station met the three best friends in all the nation. First there was Ron, Hermione, and Harry. On their way to Hogwarts, they were merry. Draco Malfoy arrived, an enemy. The exchange they had was not so friendly. They ran towards platform 9 3/4. The argument had caused them to miss orders. Because Ron hit the wall with great force, Draco yelled angrily with no remorse. "You idiots, now we have missed the train. What the hell? Why can't you guys use your brains?" "Do not worry, I have a flying car," Ron proclaimed, knowing it would take them far. They went to get the car to stop stressing. Draco then spoke to teach them a lesson.
A wizard, Draco Malfoy is the name. I come from a family that is vain. My father, Lucius Malfoy, is widely known. My mother, Nerissa, is not a crone. I look like my parents with my blonde hair. I have blue eyes, and my skin is quite fair. My heritage is from Slytherin house. We are well known, not quiet like a mouse. I am the greatest of all, a pureblood. Although I'm greedy, I'm not a dud. I believe I am greater than all. I'll do anything so that I won't fall. Revenge is something that I often seek. Unlike Ron and Harry, I am not weak. A trip to Hogwarts to master witchcraft, to please my parents and not catch the shaft. Evil they call me, but who really cares? I always win, and they just watch and stare. Call me what you want, but I do not fail. But now please listen to my little tale. This is a story about two young brothers. Both of them have two separate mothers. The oldest brother was very spoiled. He sat around while the young one toiled. The small boy was adopted when he was young. He was blamed for crimes but held his tongue. While his brother acted as a victim, it was of no use to contradict him. As he was tired of being abused, he ran away as to not be accused. He packed up his bags and started to walk. As he reached the park, he heard someone talk. It was his older brother and his friends. He was scared this would be where his life ends. He was surrounded and began a fight. The little boy had no time to take flight. The oldest was mean and thought he was great. Rude and arrogant were his greatest traits. This was shown while they all attacked the boy. Then something bad came that they did not enjoy. Dementors arrived, and they sucked the life of all people, even those in a strife. The Dementors went after the friends first. The two brothers ran away in a burst. The oldest fell, which had injured his leg. On the ground he cried and started to beg. The youngest watched as Dementors approached, and he tried to scurry like a cockroach. The youngest brother watched as he struggled. He wanted to help because he's humble. Then he remembered what the other did, so he ran, not looking back at the kid. The older brother died, but not of pain, because he was arrogant and vain. Maybe if he was nice, he would be saved, but he was not very well behaved. This goes for a male as well as a female. I hope you enjoyed my little tale.
When the story ended, they were at Ron's, and by this time it was already dawn. They got in the car, starting the engine. Ron was nervous. He could feel the tension. As the car rose very high in the air, he looked ahead with quite an awkward stare. He cracked a joke, trying to make them laugh. He then talked a lot on his own behalf.
I am Ron Weasley, best friend of Harry. My blue eyes and red hair make me merry. Outside St. Catchpole, the borough I live, I'm the youngest son of the 7 kids. I tend to come off as a funny guy. My immaturity you cannot buy. An old wand from Charlie I used to own, even though my talents are rarely shown. My family and I are called blood traders. I think I'll drive my flying car later. I'm a member of the Gryffindor house, thin and tall, yet I still like a spouse. My numerous freckles look like a mess. I'm exceptional at wizard chess. My goal in life is to tell my friends jokes, but don't take it too far, it can provoke.
There once was 2 mischievous brothers. The troublesome boys shared the same mother. Percy and Charlie thought they were the best. There wasn't a day their jokes went to rest. Attention is what they were in search of. At their age, they'd normally look for love. Time after time, they beg to be rescued. The only one who helps is their nephew. The countless cries for help are misleading. Their mom and dad called to have a meeting. Mother Rashida says they need to quit. Their neighborhood often throws many fits. The boys think it's funny to fake a death. Their father says they need to hold their breath. One minute they're pranking their sister, holding her captive, then they dismissed her. All their jokes would have to come to an end. To the top of the tower they ascend, bringing a bag to stage their next attempt. Since Charlie went last time, he is exempt. Numerous items were pulled from the bag. Charlie dared Percy to hang from the flag. Hanging 50 stories above the ground, Percy glanced at the ropes he would be bound. He stood on the edge preparing to hang. Neither boy knew it would end in a bang. Dangling from the flagpole, laughing loud, Percy hung high above the frightened crowd. When the crowd recognized the two brothers, they asked all around to find their mother. Percy's laughter soon became a big scream. He realized he would soon fall and be creamed. He cried out for Charlie as his hand slipped. His brother just laughed and soon turned to dip. It was soon that he would fall to his death. Dad was right, we should have held our breath. The last thing Charlie heard was a swift breeze. Percy fell from sight, leaving him to grieve. Mother always warned them of their 6 sins. The brothers who cried wolf clearly can't win.
As they approached Hogwarts, they neared a tree, the weeping willow, its limbs flying free. Ron lost control of the car. At the sight, they crashed into the limbs, starting a fight. "Ron, you dummy, don't you know how to drive? Now we're stuck in a tree," Hermione cried.
As you may know, I am Hermione Granger. I try so hard to keep my friends from danger. Somehow trouble finds them, just like right now. We'd be safe if I had drove. Anyhow, aside from being the mom of the group, some may say I am a crazy Fruit Loop. I admit I can be slightly intense, but I am quite the opposite of dense. I never leave without something to read. Being at the library is what I need. I suffer from my resting face. My untamed curly hair takes up much space. I am the smartest person in my class. The chance to answer questions I never pass. But I must be so careful not to brag. Like in my tale, it would be such a drag. Once there was a young gal whose name was Fleur. She was anything but an amateur, the best at Green Hilltop Academy. Her talents came to her so naturally. She was one of 4 chosen to perform in a tournament that became a storm, along with Bobby, Ella, and Sherry, who were picked from the fire that was glaring. Their first task was a duel with a dragon. Fleur was worried for what would happen. A horn sounded and the beast entered the ring. It was not long before Fleur was king. "Well, that was easy. Who's next?" she said, as the not-so-mighty beast laid and bled. Along with Fleur, the other 3 passed, and back to the castle for their next task. A timed marathon awaited them all, around the castle and over a wall. They ran for miles and lost endurance, then finished with times that were generous. "Aha, I beat you all," Fleur exclaimed. "Ella pushed Bobby and I," Sherry blamed. Excuses don't make up for lack of skill. Fleur kept on boasting and would not chill. So they moved on to the last obstacle, a maze that is intense but soluble. The 3 girls resolved to work together and put aside their issues and blathers. While Fleur became lost in the maze, the girls' path was anything but a haze. Fleur was lost and she could not get out. Now she knew what losing was about.
Still stuck in the tree, it threw them around. Harry whipped out his wand, the best in town. He shut the tree down with a single spell. He then yelled, "I have a story to tell."
I am Harry Potter, a brave young lad. Lily was my mom, and James was my dad. Killed by Voldemort, they are both now dead, while I was left with a scar on my head. Because of this, I have made it my goal to do my best and protect all. My hair is silky black, like my father's. My eyes stunning green, like my dear mother's. My friends say I'm selfless, loyal, and strong, but I just help those around me along. And that is why I journey to Hogwarts to keep my friends safe, far from Voldemort. This style I live is one of reward. Do things for others, you will not be bored. In fact, I think all should live just like me. Allow me to tell you in this story.
There once was a boy who had lived his life caring for others and being so nice. He always helped his friends and put them first. His strong character was never reversed. But one day he found himself in trouble. Being chased by Dementors, he struggled. The Dark Lord had sent them to eat his soul, because in battles he played a great role. The Dark Lord hated his kind demeanor, his drive to win, always so eager. So the boy found himself in great danger, until he was helped by almost strangers. One day, the boy found himself stuck alone in a place the Dark Lord knew was his home. To Hogwarts he really needed to go, so that he could be safe and his strength could grow, and be prepared for the battle to come, where he would fight the Dark Lord to the tomb. But he couldn't leave, for the Dark Lord knew the young boy's plan and what he wished to do. So friends and acquaintances gathered around to see that the boy traveled safe and sound. They wanted to help, for the boy helped them, so they risked their lives to protect him. They all drank potion that would change their look. Only 5 minutes later, they all shook. Their hair changed colors, their faces changed shape to match the boy who needed to escape. Now they were ready to travel and fly. One by one, the broomsticks flew to the sky. The Dementors swooped, trying to attack. But their knowledge of identity lacked. Every wizard looked exactly the same. They didn't know which one they were to claim, so the Dementors tried to capture them all. Some were knocked right off their broomsticks to fall. The group arrived at Hogwarts with one dead. He was not frowned on, but honored instead, for he had lost his life but saved the world, aiding the boy that would fight the Dark Lord. Now you see the benefits of my life. The boy received help because he was kind. The one who died was praised and so loved that he was still happy watching above. With the tree killed, the four could continue their journey to Hogwarts where they were due. They walked down the path up to the entrance. Their troubles now seemed far in the distance. They opened the doors to their wizard school. Their past rivalry made them feel like fools. Working together is how to succeed. The four realized that friends is all you need. The best thing to be is humble and kind. That's the best moral the group would ever find. They walked through Hogwarts to the dining hall, knowing they were now the best friends of all.